Folks, hello and welcome to Steve the Drummer at YouTube.com, where we are bringing yesterday's music into tomorrow. And today I want to post part 2 of my series, the 3 levels of immersion, or what I perceive as the 3 levels of immersion into your e-drumming experience, and getting the most out of your e-drumming experience. And in particular today, what I want to talk about is a throne by a company called Porter & Davies. And Porter & Davies is I believe it's a UK-based company. They make tactile thrones, or basically butt kickers. And so that's the product I'm going to talk about today, and here we go. Now, in the overall view of this little series, 3 levels of immersion, in part 1 we talked about headphones, and I reviewed the Roland headphones. And today we're going to take it up another level, and we're going to look at this Porter & Davies tactile drum throne. And so I have a couple of observations about this thing. Now, number one, I just got it out of the box just a couple of days ago, and I've only used it a couple of days, so really and truly, in all fairness, it may be a little bit premature for me to do a full-on review. In the interest of me getting some information out there about this, here we go. So the first thing that I will say is, number one, it is expensive. The one that I purchased was about $1,150. And it does not come with a base. It's just the throne top itself, and then the motor and the cables. I think you can buy just a throne top or a motor separately, and I think you can buy the whole thing all together. And the pricing ranges, I think if you just get the throne top, you're in the $800–900 range, and if you start throwing in motors and stuff like that, and then if you get the pricing on this can go all the way up into the high $1,600–1,800 range. So this is a really expensive product, number one, and so this is not something that every e-drummer is just going to run right out and pick one up. However, I will say on the positive side, it really does. The tactile experience really does bring another level to your drumming. This is typically used for like a tour type drummer or somebody like that, and they're running their bass drum directly into it, so that it helps them to monitor their bass drum. When they hit their bass drum, not only do they hear it through the monitors, but they also feel it in their seat, and it improves, it enhances the feel for that type of drumming. And so that kind of crosses over if you use it on electronic drums. When you hit your electronic drums, and it's not just your bass drum, your low floor tom, some of your toms and stuff like that, and even in some cases, if you really get a solid rim shot out of your snare drum, you really increase the tactile experience of your electronic drumming. And that was kind of what drew me to the product. Once again, when I went to pick up when I went to trade in my V drums a couple of months ago, while I was in Eric Ham's shop, he had one of those things set up, and I sat down and played with it for a few minutes. I was really impressed. I added it to my list of things that I wanted to get. And so, and eventually I did. I just purchased it recently here. I will say this, a couple of caveats. Number one, what I've been using previously is a rock and sock throne, and it's one of those airlift type of thrones that kind of moves up and down while you're playing. I didn't realize how comfortable that rock and sock throne is. I don't know if it's the fact that my rock and sock throne is so comfortable, or the Porter & Davies is not so comfortable. But there's definitely a big difference, especially when I play long sessions on my drums. Sometimes I can play for 2 or 3 hours uninterrupted, and I'll work through various exercises that I'm working on, and I'll work through some various songs that I'm working on for different things, and maybe some covers and stuff like that. I can sit here and play the drums for a long time sometimes. The Porter & Davies throne is less comfortable. Now, it's got a ton of padding in it. It's not a cheaply made product by any stretch of the imagination. However, that rock and sock throne is really, really comfortable. So I'm not sure if it's a matter of the rock and sock, just being a superior product, or the Porter & Davies being an inferior product, or what. But I will say that my rock and sock throne is more comfortable, especially for long playing times. Another thing is that when you buy this particular one, if you just get the top, you're going to have to include your own base, and the base, the mounting post where the base goes in is, I think it says it's limited to 7/8 of an inch. It's fairly limiting. Actually, I tried to put it on my rock and sock throne, and the post was too large, so I had to go out and buy a $69 DW, or $69 DW, a $69 PDP throne just for the base, just to mount this thing. And it's a little bit wobbly too, and I don't know if that's the throne itself or the base or whatever, but it's a little bit wobbly. It's not as comfortable, but the tactile thing is really cool, but it's expensive. So those are my thoughts. It's brand new. I just got it out of the box. I just started using it. I've probably used it a total of 3 or 4 times. And quite frankly, I don't use it every time I play the drums. When I come in the practice room and I'm just going to sit here and work on exercises, and I know I'm going to be here for a while, I use my rock and sock throne because it's just so darn comfortable. But when but I've got to say, this thing has a real good cool factor. And if you're sitting here playing songs and trying to really immerse yourself in the music, kind of going with my concept of 3 levels of immersion, this is a really cool way to do it. I mean, you feel like you're at a concert, man. It's everything's kind of rumbling around. Those are my thoughts. The jury's still out. I can't say thumbs up or thumbs down yet because it's expensive. It's not very comfortable, but it's cool. I don't know. You tell me. Has anybody else used a Porter and Davies throne, or for that matter, any other type of butt kicker type of thrones? And what are your thoughts? Hope you guys have a great day. Look forward to talking to you soon.